Welcome to the final mock draft tracker of the year. I am John Schmeelk. The NFL draft is on our doorstep, which means the final mock drafts have been published. And these really are the most important ones, the most informative. Why? Well, by this time, NFL franchises generally have their board set, so they know what their intentions are on draft night, and news and word and rumors start to leak around, and people start to get a feel for maybe what teams are really thinking about doing when it comes to the draft. Of course, it's also important to remember that there are often smoke screens. Teams want to keep their competitors guessing as to what their intentions are. So take all the rumors and mock drafts with a grain of salt. But there might be a little bit more truth than usual when you get to these final ones. And we've been tracking these for more than 2 months. A lot of draft experts have been putting mock drafts out there. Well, now it's not just draft experts. It's also NFL reporters that really have the best sources and insights into the business. And they really seem to be zeroing in on one particular prospect for the New York Football Giants. Iowa tackle Tristan Wirfs. Peter King, NBC Sports, he has Tristan Wirfs to the Giants at 4. Albert Breer, Sports Illustrated, he writes the Monday Morning Quarterback. He has Tristan Wirfs to the Giants at number 4. And an interesting note from his mock draft, he thinks that a big recommendation from Wirfs head coach at Iowa, Kirk Ferentz, who has a relationship with the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick, where Joe Judge came from, could impact their decision to go with Wirfs. Of course, Joe Judge also has a great relationship with Nick Saban at Alabama and Kirby Smart at Georgia. Jedrick Wills played for Nick Saban. Andrew Thomas played for Kirby Smart. So these are all the different things that are out there as people consider who the Giants might go for. The other offensive lineman prospect in the mix, Mekhi Becton out of Louisville. Now, just because these players aren't being mocked to the Giants doesn't mean they're not in consideration. They, of course, are. But it looks like right now everyone seems to be zeroing in on Tristan Wirfs. You go to the folks over at NFL.com where they have all their mock drafts. Charles Davis put out his most recent one this week. Tristan Wirfs. And Daniel Jeremiah's next to last mock draft. Tristan Wirfs. Peter Schrager, great NFL reporter for Fox, for NFL Network, and of course Good Morning Football. He has Tristan Wirfs. Bucky Brooks. He has Tristan Wirfs. So all these people are seeming to point to the Iowa tackle. Now, what's the deal with Tristan Wirfs? He's from a small town in Iowa. He's the only true freshman in Iowa history to start as a freshman. He started at right tackle for the Hawkeyes, but he also played some left tackle at the end of the year when they had some injury issues, and he held his own there. He absolutely blew up the combine in Indianapolis. His athletic marks were off the charts. His movement skills were fantastic. We interviewed Brian Broaddus, a former scout and NFL executive, on one of our podcasts. He compared his movement skills to Walter Jones. He's powerful, he finishes, and he's a great kid from a small town in Iowa. His mom has worked for Target for nearly 20 years. Great attitude, multiple sport athlete, a wrestler, shot putter, track kid, played baseball, just a really good athlete. Some people think he might be an all-pro guard. Well, if that's the worst-case scenario, well, then you really can't go wrong with the player, can you? But he can plug right in a right tackle, be a very good player there. He has the athleticism to play left tackle as well, and he's played there in the past. So right now, people are locked in on Tristan Wirfs. Again, keep an eye on Andrew Thomas, the left tackle out of Georgia. Jedrick Wills, the tackle out of Alabama. He's played the right side, but all his testing and traits say he can play the left side too. And of course, Mekhi Becton out of Louisville, the 6'7", 360-pound behemoth that maybe has more potential than all of them. And it doesn't have to be an offensive lineman either. Depending on what happens in front of the Giants, the 3 top defensive playmakers in the draft, Isaiah Simmons, who the most recent Mel Kiper draft has the Giants taking. The all-do-everything linebacker that plays a bunch of different positions, does different things. Derek Brown, the defensive tackle out of Auburn, and Jeffrey Okudah, the cornerback out of Ohio State. So the Giants like to keep people guessing. Dave Gettleman kept people guessing up until they selected Daniel Jones in the first round last year. I would expect nothing new in 2020. This is your final mock draft tracker. Thanks for being with us. The experts say it's going to be Tristan Wirfs. We'll see what reality tells them.
Hey Giants fans, Saquon Barkley here. You want to see more videos? Subscribe below.